Every man's greatest desire is to be dominant, strong, and powerful in his life, whether it's related to work, wealth, or social life. Men crave power because that is what fuels our ambition to achieve something great. But what about men who do not have such great ambitions? Well, they are the ones that live life being constantly controlled and manipulated at each turn. They are brainwashed by modern society to lead a life to fulfill their basic needs. They have a daily routine that they follow, and that's it. There are no higher goals. There's no craving for something great. They're just living life for the sake of it. So in this video, I'll be going over 5 such habits that make men weak in today's society. Let's get into it. Number 1. Consumerism. The average person in the modern era has more spare time and extra wealth than their forefathers ever did. Spending money on various luxury things is sometimes the result of having too much free time, and even more so, a lack of purpose in life. Let's put it this way. Suppose you have $10 to buy groceries that cost $10 as well. You're probably going to go out, get the groceries, and come back home. Would you perhaps spend that $10 on something else and starve for the next week? Probably not, because you had a purpose which you had to fulfill. Similarly, when you have no purpose in life, you will go and spend your money on useless stuff instead of using it to help yourself or maybe the ones around you. Now, I know this sounds cliche, but believe me when I say this, the only way to avoid mindless consumerism is to put God and the community before your wants. Number 2. Aesthetics. We now live in a world where it's not about what is being said, but who is saying it. To put it into perspective, let's assume 2 men. The first guy is your average handsome man, tall, works out, clean skin and smells great, while the second guy is your typical nerd. He's socially awkward with a face full of pimples and smells like stinking socks. If both of these men walk up to a girl and ask her number, who is more likely to get it? Let's be honest, the second guy has no chance even if both of them say the exact same thing. In fact, the nerd might even end up with some assault charges. Going back to our original point, you can see what I mean when I say that it doesn't matter what you say. What really matters is if you look the part. The way you present yourself is a big factor that decides how you will be treated. Number 3. Sedentary lifestyle. Today, owing to social media, guys spend much of their time sitting in front of a TV screen, continually watching movies, and wasting time doing unimportant things. This continual state of inactivity can considerably weaken a man. This is not to argue that sitting down and watching a movie is bad for you. It's the time that you spend doing so that actually matters. Given that there are guys who despise their jobs and whine every day, they go home and watch a movie instead of focusing on their side hustle or improving their looks. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Immediate gratification destroys your natural masculine motivation to struggle and achieve greatness. You may be in the top 1% of males, but after a week or 2 of living a sedentary, instant gratification lifestyle, you will quickly slip to the bottom of the barrel. Number 4. High body fat. Continuing the previous point, sedentary lifestyles are associated with excessive body fat. You may not yet have the financial freedom or social charisma you seek, but one of the simplest things you can start doing right away is reducing your body fat. And to do that, you basically need to practice 2 main habits. The first is to change your diet, and the second is to exercise. One of the most common mistakes I see individuals make is just refusing to eat in order to lose weight. One of the most detrimental effects of having a high body fat percentage is the hormonal abnormalities it causes. It has also been scientifically shown that high amounts of body fat causes the body to create more estrogen, which is a female hormone. The worst thing is that if you allow fat to accumulate, it becomes a never-ending cycle since estrogen encourages more fat to accumulate under the skin, and more fat under the skin increases your estrogen levels even more. Number 5. Social media. According to the latest studies, the average amount of time spent on social media worldwide is set to hit 2 hours and 27 minutes a day. If you add up these numbers, that approximately makes it about 1 month out of the entire year spent on mindlessly scrolling through social media. So remember, brothers, instead of mindlessly wasting your life scrolling through social media, make it a commitment that you will shut off your phone while you are working and practice this habit until you've perfected it. Consider how your life would be different if you spent that time for something that would actually benefit you in the long term, rather than wasting it on social media. It has also been well established that people report increased levels of worry, unhappiness, and despair after spending a lot of time on social media.
That was it for this video. Be sure to hit subscribe and take a look at the other videos on the channel. Like the video too, as it can help the video reach more men looking for a purpose and direction in life.